One Zambia, One Nation, and thanks for joining us on Zanis News. To present, my name is Juliet Mtale. Top stories in the news tonight. President Hichilema attends China-Africa Leadership Roundtable Dialogue. Shinyua donates equipment to Zanis. ZRA to spend $5 million in constructing Lonshi border post. East pupils bag 2 trophies. And 2-year-old Luansha boy dies in Inferno. Zanis News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema joined 13 other African heads of state and governments at the China-Africa Leaders Roundtable Dialogue in Johannesburg, South Africa. The dialogue, which was being held under the theme Promoting African Integration and Jointly Building a High-Level Africa-China Community with a Shared Future, was co-chaired by Chinese President Xi Jinping and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. More in this report.
President Hakainde Hichilema Thursday night joined 13 other African heads of states and governments at the China-Africa Leaders Roundtable Dialogue closed-door meeting held at Hilton Hotel in Johannesburg, South Africa. The Roundtable Dialogue meeting, which was being held under the theme Promoting African Integration and Jointly Building a High-Level Africa-China Community with a Shared Future, was co-chaired by Chinese President Xi Jinping and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa.
China will continue to support Africa in speaking with one voice on international affairs and continuously elevating its international standing. China will work actively at the G20 summit next month to support the AU's full membership in the group.
We need to place China-Africa relations in the context of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation (FOCAC), which advances a strategic and cooperative partnership between the continent of Africa and China. There is a need to further strengthen consultation and coordination on FOCAC to enhance implementation and practical cooperation in various fields under the Dakar Action Plan.
And in a shared joint communique after the dialogue meeting, both the African governments and the Chinese government underscored that support for African developmental challenges should be aligned and synergized with the second 10-year implementation plan of Agenda 2063. Both sides also reaffirmed their strong commitment to the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter and their staunch support for each other in upholding territorial integrity, sovereignty, security, and development interests. Both sides also reaffirmed their strong commitment to the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter and their staunch support for each other in upholding territorial integrity, sovereignty, security, and development interests. On the part of the African side, leaders commended China for introducing the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative in support of strengthening multilateralism, and hoped China and Africa's development will bring about more opportunities for peace and development in the world. Meanwhile, the Chinese government commended African leaders for their constructive and creative initiative undertaken towards ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The government of China called for increased dialogue and engagement to build trust and confidence and the creation of an environment conducive for dialogue between the warring parties. President Hichilema was in South Africa to attend the 15th BRICS Summit. The head of state has since wound up his official duties in South Africa and has since returned back home. Kalan Muchima reporting for Zanis in Johannesburg, South Africa.
And in Southern Province, government together with Fridaytt has launched a $1.5 million United States livestock control project in 3 districts of Southern Province. The project, dubbed Hooves for Sustainability H4S, is aimed at increasing climate resilience of 2,000 livestock-producing households in Mazabuka, Monze, and Namwala districts.
Southern Province, despite being one of the highest provinces in cattle production, hosting over 3 million cows, keeping these animals is not as easy as they are prone to diseases and other challenges. However, government, in partnership with Fridaytt, has launched a $1.5 million Horse for Sustainability project designed to improve the livestock sector.
The livestock sector in Zambia faces numerous hurdles, from the impacts of climate change to poor animal husbandry practices and limited market access for our smallholder farmers. These obstacles not only hinder the sector's growth, but also thwart its potential contributions to our nation's agricultural and economic development. Our focus on Mazabuka, Monze, and Namwala districts underscores the importance of collaboration, unity, and shared responsibility.
Fridaytt, working in over 50 countries across the world, Zambia inclusive, aims at bringing change in the livestock sector.
Our collective objective is to forge a sustainable and resilient livestock subsector that benefits smallholder farmers and our entire community. By addressing the formidable challenges of climate change, animal husbandry practices, and market access limitations, H4S aims to better the livelihoods of the communities in which we will work.
The program that we are launching today will benefit so many people in this country and beyond.
Chiefs in the benefiting districts are ready to support the project.
We commit that we are going to effectively participate to ensure that these projects are effectively implemented in our chiefdoms to the best possible outcomes.
Mike Munkombwe, Zanis, in Mazabuka district, Southern Province.
Thank you, Mike, for that report from Southern Province. Meanwhile, a non-government organization, People in Need, under the Livestock Integration Initiative, has handed over 74 in-calf heifers and 8 bulls to 25 beneficiaries in 3 districts of Western Province. More in this report by Ikachana Sindala.
People in Need offers development aid in an effort to help people in their determination to lift themselves out of poverty and develop further through implementing various projects. In Western Province, the NGO has embarked on empowering vulnerable but viable community members with in-calf heifers under the Livestock Integration Initiative, whose dung can be used for the biogas project. Western Province Acting Deputy Permanent Secretary Richard Mwanda officiated at the handover of the livestock.
Let me begin by appreciating the People in Need organization for supplementing government in this manner. The livestock sector plays a very important role in the socio-economic development of this country. We are very grateful. It takes a lot of commitment and sacrifice to raise resources to procure materials that we can see this morning.
People in Need Relief and Development Department Project Manager Kopi Kamona has appealed to the beneficiaries of the in-calf heifers to cooperate with other stakeholders involved in the project.
I would like to urge the beneficiaries to work very closely with the ministry and the livestock management committees. Those are there to support you. As usual, do not hesitate to get in touch with us for anything.
One of the beneficiaries, Messi Noanga, says the livestock will uplift her livelihood in various ways.
The
livestock will help me in association of those that are on the biogas project. I will benefit from the bioslurry from my crops and milk from the heifers.
Ikachana Sindala, Zanis, Mongo, Western Province.
We now move to the Copperbelt province, Over 5 million kwacha will be spent on the construction of the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, Immigration and Zambia Police officers at Launch Border in Masaiti District by JCHX Mining and Construction Company. Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo, who visited the site, said once the offices are completed, Launchi will have a fully operational border post that will help decongest the Kasumbalesa and Kasankanya border posts. Details in this report.
Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA officers have for the past years been using a container as officers at Launchi border to clear people crossing from Zambia through to the Democratic Republic of Congo. However, with the help of JCHX Mining and Construction Company, the officers from ZRA, Immigration and Zambia Police will soon have new officers. Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo visited the site to check on the works done so far.
The officers that are found at borders, that is Immigration, Customs, and Zambia Police, the same way it is in Mukambo Mfulira, that's how it is, which going to be here. So as provincial administration, we have had a lot of complaint about the officers here, the way they're operating, and of course, if you compare the situation where we are now, and this the other side of the Congo, you see that at least we need to be to up our game.
Once the officers become operational, Launchi will be a fully functional border post like Kasumbalesa and Sakanya.
So our hope is that once this thing is just operational, we are likely to reduce the congestion of the trucks that Mukambo, Sakanya, and also Kasumbalesa, because some of the traffic that is going through Sakanya, Kasumbalesa, Mukambo can be redirected to this route, thereby it is congesting. We are also worried and concerned about the drivers that we saw there. There's no sanitation. So if we have to create this one as another exit, then that fear and that concern will also be sorted out.
The works are expected to be completed in the next 6 months. Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis, Masaiti District, Copperbelt Province.
In education news, World Vision Zambia has provided school furniture to 5 learning institutions in Wengwa constituency of Monze district valued at over 12,000 United States dollars. Jongo and Magoye area program manager Saboi Simaseko says the donation is part of the organization's efforts to complement government in its quest to ensure that no learner sits on the floor during lessons. Details in this report.
The increased pupil population from about 70,000 before the implementation of the free education policy by the New Dawn government to the current 86,000 in Monze district call for more desks to cater for all learners. In a step to complement government's drive to provide desks in all schools, World Vision Zambia has donated school furniture to 5 schools in Bwengwa constituency.
As World Vision, we are also riding on the presidential directive to ensure that by the end of 2023, no learners should sit on the floor. The total value of what we've received here today as Hamwimbu and other schools in the chiefdom is equivalent to $12,000. World Vision appreciates the good partnership with the government and will continue working hard to complement the efforts of the government to improve literacy levels among the learners, especially in remote areas. And at the end of the day, we want to ensure and see to it that these our children are educated for life, enjoy good health and are protected.
Government is upbeat that support from cooperating partners and the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, would help to reduce desk deficit.
The entire district, we have 15,102 desks. And we still have a short 5,571. So we still need support from cooperating partners. The ministry also rehabilitated. We rehabilitated 963 desks through GRZ grant. And we procured 250 through government and cooperating partners. And we also further rehabilitated 296 through GRZ funding. We also received desks 1,000 procured through CDF, through Wengwa constituency. I want to thank World Vision for the work that they are doing, and I want to urge other cooperating partners to also come on board. We still have shortfalls of classrooms, we have shortfalls of staff houses, and we also need to put ablution or construct ablution blocks.
The support from World Vision has won praise among parents.
World Vision yatuyincha buyu ubwa kuti ha mwimbu chiko china ha mwimbu. I think the whole district is one of the best schools.
Fridaytt for Zanis News in Monza District, Southern Province.
The Xinhua News Agency of the Republic of China has donated laptops and hard drives to the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis. Speaking during the handover ceremony held at Zanis headquarters in Lusaka today, Xinhua President Fu Hao says the news agency is ready to continue providing support and working together with Zanis. Mr. Hao says the donation of laptops and hard drives is meant to help Zanis staff enhance their journalistic skills. He stated that Xinhua hopes to work with Zanis to deliver more information about the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa summit. He added that the expected visit by President Hakainde Hichilema to China will cement the already existing cordial relationship between the two countries. Mr. Hao has since invited Zanis to the 5th World Media Summit, which will be hosted by Xinhua in December this year in China. Mr. Hao says he hopes that the two agencies will take advantage of the summit to discuss how they can boost media development in the two countries. And Zanis director Lois Saili, who received the donation, says Xinhua and Zambia News Information Services have enjoyed good cooperation for many years. Mrs. Saili said the cooperation dates back when Zanis was still called Zambia Information Services.
Represented by Director Lois Saili Zanis on this day, August 25th, 2020. And more recently, Zanis has established a television channel which is called Zanis TV. Yes, which is under test transmission and will officially be launched before the end of the year. It's under test transmission. It's all right now. Yeah, and it will be launched before the end of the year. So, because it's the first time that we are breaking into TV, our people require a lot of training so that we can enhance their skills to be able to run the TV efficiently, because we've never been in TV or in broadcast from the time that we were created. Zanis is a government department under the Ministry of Information and Media. It's actually the largest news organization in this country in terms of footprint. We are the largest in terms of spread, and we are found in over 100 districts of Zambia, about 104 districts. That's where we have a presence. In the new districts, that is where we are yet to set up offices, but we have a presence in over 100 districts.
When President Hichilema visited China, they can, together with Chinese President Xi Jinping, they too can witness the signing of the agreement between the two sides.
第二个呢，就是新华社呀，愿意为赞比亚新闻社是吧，这个发展啊，提供力所能及的支持。
The second, Xinhua stands ready to provide best possible support to the development of Zanis.
我们愿意与赞比亚新闻社相互帮助，携手共进。
We hope that we can help each other and join hands together to forge ahead, to make progress.
We now move to Luapula Province. A number of social cash transfer beneficiaries in Mwansabombo district have welcomed the change of payment system from manual to digital. Some beneficiaries interviewed by Zanis during the sensitization meetings said the new payment method will enable beneficiaries have easy access to the funds. Lois Changwe has more in this report.
The number of social cash transfer beneficiaries in Mwansabombwe district is expected to increase from the current caseload of 7,082 to over 8,600 beneficiaries. Acting District Social Welfare Officer Edmond Kampape, who described the development, also said the beneficiaries have been sensitized on the change in payment system from manual to using mobile phones.
In Mwansabombwe district, we embarked on sensitizing the people on how to be receiving money using the mobile monies. Later on, we embarked on community validation. We have announced all the names in Mwansabombwe in 25 CWACs, and about 1,620 are the people who were listed yet to be enumerated and put on social cash transfer.
Beneficiaries of the social cash transfer have welcomed the move.
imbiba kuti vechinaise timoneke ishita imbi kuchungulo imbiba kwababwera munangu na mailo 2 days bapoka fe rupia lumolwini nomba apa kweba kupoka mumutima ndeka apa we munole kwaira yalwa yasende ndalama kwaiko no uteko watu akubalichi.
The change in the payment system, which is expected to take effect in Mwansabombwe in October this year, will not only allow the beneficiaries to access the funds wherever they are, but also reduce the risk of handling huge sums of money by the pay point managers. Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansabombwe, Luapula Province.
In Lusaka Province, Chilanga District Commissioner David Sheleni has called on stakeholders to supplement government efforts in mitigating the negative effects of disasters. Mr. Sheleni says not all disaster situations require the intervention of the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU. Details in this report.
Chilanga District experiences disasters throughout the year, especially during the rainy season, which negatively affects residents across the district. The district administration in Chilanga has held a meeting with various stakeholders to brainstorm and find solutions to challenges being faced when it comes to disasters that may not meet the guidelines set by the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit at national level.
In Chilanga, we thought it is necessary that you, who are our partners, people who have always been helping us, and by helping us, you have been helping your government, and so wherever we are, when we are confronted by challenges, we need to come together so that we can find ways of overcoming these challenges that we may face.
Chilanga Town Council Secretary Grayson Sakala explains the role and importance of collaborating efforts in terms of dealing with disasters in the district.
So I believe the purpose of this meeting is to look at all these things, to see what we can do on our own, to see when we can call upon government, and to see also how we can organize ourselves and also strategize on some obvious activities that we think that have an adverse impact on our ways of life.
There is a number of disasters for the past year linked. I hope this meeting will help us bring out solutions on not tackling all these problems that we've been having in the district.
During the meeting, it was also disclosed that satellite committees have been created in the 12 wards to report disasters and identify people with special skills.
We have satellite committees. Okay, in all the wards, 12 wards, we have satellite committees. Now, the reason is simple. When a disaster happens in Chilanga, for example, if a disaster happens in Mwembeshi, or a disaster happens in Kasupe, okay, there's something has happened there, very serious. That satellite committee which they have in Kasupe can get quickly together, and we get guidelines when forming these committees that always look for people with special skills. When you are forming these committees, look at people with special skills whom you can quickly call on to come and assist in the case of a disaster.
And the district Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit Officer had this to say.
And talk with the private sector so that they can come on board and help out the victims, especially that now we are going into another rain season. Otherwise, the response has been good, and they are willing to complement the government effort and also to partner with them so that these issues can be sorted out.
Mkwetoka Pekele, Zanis, Chilanga.
Thank you, Kweto, for that report. Now, from the eastern part of the country, Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tolle says he is happy that pupils in the province have continued to perform well in various core secular activities at national level. Mr. Tolle was speaking when he received over 20 trophies won by pupils in various categories after participating in numerous activities at national level. Here are the details.
With some schools in Eastern Province where pupils put away their books to compete in extracurricular activities at national level, where they won several trophies as a result of their good performances. And Eastern Province administration is happy with the performance of the pupils.
Your weeks have spoken to me. What was being said about the new administration which came in, meaning the PM's administration, meaning gentlemen and ladies who are gathered here today, there was a lot of negative talk. But you have proven yourselves. You may have performed badly in other line ministries, but we've got one particular line ministry which has performed the best. You have brought hope to the dying province, your administration. Even those who are challenged physically, they can perform. It has been demonstrated by you bringing trophies which were aimed, and for them to have received the proper guidance to achieve what they achieved, it means there was a dedicated teacher, there was a dedicated educationalist, there was a dedicated administrator, and indeed, for any house to stand up to be built, it must have a sound.
The Minister of Education in the region explains the story behind the success.
From the time that we came into the province, more than a year ago now, we began by coming up with the strategic plan, SP. We would have direction where education was concerned. And we made sure that every district came up with their own strategic plan and implementation plan. For sure, and I know that you're already aware that as a province, academically, we for the first time did beat the whole country at the grades 9 and 12. Under grades, 18 of our pupils were held back. They remained in Lusaka so that they could be exposed to industries, exposed to companies, so that their projects could be developed more.
Stephen Mukobeko, reporting for Zanis News in Chipata, Eastern Province.
In Northwestern Province, the Center for Infectious Disease Research in Zambia has handed over 10 new electrocardiogram machines worth over 400,000 kwacha to the Provincial Health Office. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Gladstone Katambi advised the health directors in the province to ensure that the machines are taken care of. We have more in this report.
Northwestern Province Permanent Secretary Colonel Gladstone Katambi, retired, has handed over 10 electrocardiogram ECG machines procured by SIDAS to all the district hospitals in the province.
I would therefore like to encourage the district health directors that the machines my office is receiving and handing over to you people, officers, require care and skill in order to maintain their durability. Now, those guys under you. Without it, these machines will not last. They can sabotage them.
The Permanent Secretary advised the healthcare providers.
Politics aside, some of you still want to campaign. Elections are over. It's over. So let us look at saving Zambians. In fact, you people are not even supposed to take sides. because we know what it is. Let us look after the Zambians.
Giving a vote of thanks, Mwinilunga District Health Director Dr. Brian Machisowa had this to say.
This machine will not only benefit the TB patients, especially MDR, but it will also benefit the common person in Mwinilunga. Some of those that we've referred to Solways will be able to handle them just locally, and I think it will be the same everywhere. So we thank you so much. Thank you, the leadership at PHO, for this opportunity. We are going back with a big machine.
And CIDA's Tuberculosis Local Organizations Network TB Loan, HIV-TB mentor Aninani Chinungu added his voice.
We're going to help to cut on the costs that the patients incur just to have these services, access to these services for MDR management.
For Zanis in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province, I'm Hemit Hachinande.
And finally in the news tonight, a 2-year-old boy of Mpatamato Township in Wansha District has died after he sustained burn wounds when the house he was sleeping in caught fire. The incident happened on August 23rd, 2023, around 12 hours when the mother left him sleeping in the house. Copperbelt Police Commissioner Peacewell Mwemba confirmed the development to Zanis in Wansha. Mr. Mwemba said the incident happened when the mother to the deceased, Rhoda Sinyangwe, 28, who sells tomatoes by the roadside, had gone to check on her merchandise around 11:50 hours, leaving her son sleeping in the house. Ms. Sinyangwe shortly heard people shouting that her cabin was on fire, and when she rushed back, she found her neighbors breaking down the doors to rescue her son. The neighbors managed to break the door to the house and quench the fire, but the child had sustained burns all over his body and died 2 days later at Roan Hospital. The cause of the fire is not yet established, although it is suspected to have been caused by an electrical fault. As we end the news, we recap on the headlines. President Hichilema attends China-Africa Leadership Roundtable Dialogue. Shinyua donates equipment to Zanis. ZRA to spend $5 million in constructing Lonshi border post. East pupils bag 2 trophies. And 2-year-old Luansha boy dies in Inferno. That is all we had for the news tonight. My name is Juliet Mtele, and on behalf of the entire Zanis production team, it's bye-bye.